Okay, so the latest episode of Wandavision came out, episode 6. This will include spoilers for episode 6 and all the episodes prior, obviously. I just finished watching it for the second time because I watched it last night, and after waking up this morning I watched it again just to refresh my memory. Couple things that I noticed when Wanda starts to expand the hex to engulf Vision to bring him back. She freezes everyone around her, but you can still see Billy and Tommy moving, so that just confirms she doesn't have power over them. They exist, they're real, which is what Monica said last episode. You can't see Pietro because he gets blasted away, and I think that's intentional so that they don't reveal whether or not he is a part of the reality or not. Although some of the stuff he was saying, not just about, past in Sokovia, like how did he know Vision had died, especially given he was dead during the time period where Vision was dead. I think that is the big thing that's going to make people think he might not be Pietro, or he might have been sent in for a different reason. Maybe Doctor Strange grabbed him from the multiverse, sent him in and explained the situation. It's a possibility. I don't think that'll be it though. I think look, ready for the meme? He's Mephisto, or he's Nightmare, or he's some character who has supernatural origins and is manipulating Wanda, especially since he straight up says he doesn't think it's wrong her basically controlling this whole town, which basically everyone has expressed as being wrong. Tommy and Billy get their powers, so they are Wiccan and Speed, essentially, and their powers come through, they appear to be about 11 or 12, so they're just about to hit puberty and their powers come through. Mutants' powers manifest during puberty, supposedly. So if there's any correlation to that, they might be the first mutants whose powers came purely through the X gene in the MCU. Monica Rambeau has her blood work shown, and supposedly her body has been altered on a cellular level twice now, and look, they're just setting up. She's going to have her powers, whether her powers are already there, which I don't think they are. I think they're going to manifest soon though, because of the hex. But and the reason I don't think her powers are there yet is because during the fight with some of the sword agents that Jimmy Woo and her engage in before going undercover and breaking back in, she would have been able to disarm them all using, any of her powers really. But instead it's just classic fists and kicks and stuff. Then Vision apparently dies if he leaves the bubble, but not in the way that I expected. He doesn't have the big crater in his head, he just sort of shuts down, I guess. Maybe if he was left out there long enough, more and more pieces would break off him and fly back in, and then he would eventually revert to his state when Wanda took him from the sword facility. Agnes is the big question right now, because she's barely in this episode. She's in it at the start, in the opening, just because they had to do a fun Malcolm in the Middle opening thing, and she's in the car, and she clearly thinks something's up. Well, she's clearly under Wanda's control, so whether or not she was involved in the original creation of the Hex, and then it grew beyond her control, and then now she's being controlled by Wanda, or if she's just another townsperson, and they just felt like having one of them play a bigger role, being the neighbour, being the friendly neighbour. Kick-Ass gets mentioned, and I will be actually shocked if this has any meaning other than just being an Easter egg, because the main characters in Kick-Ass are two friends, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson and Evan Peters, who played each respective Quicksilver So I feel like it was just a fun nod. I don't think it's going to get explained that Wanda caught a TV showing of Kick-Ass and then created the wrong Quicksilver. That would be funny, I think, but it would just sort of be stupid. But they did make Nick Fury's eye get ruined by a scratch from a flurkin or a cat or whatever. So Marvel might do it. The bit where Quicksilver is dead shows up as a corpse, right? I said this when Vision showed up as a corpse in episode 4. It seems to be occurring at points where Wanda starts to believe that what she's doing might be immoral. So she looks at her, she thinks about it, then when she turns and looks at them, she's reminded as to why she's doing this. So first she threw Monica out of the hex, and then she was like, basically looked at herself like, why am I doing this? This isn't right. Vision comes in, looks like a corpse. She goes, that's why I'm doing it, to keep Vision alive. Same with this, she starts questioning herself after Pietro mentions the ethics of the children being missing until now. And then, after seeing them, he's clearly just, after thinking about it, she turns around, sniffs, turns, looks back. He's dead again, reminding her, oh look, Vision's not in the area right now, so we're going to use him. In this reality, your brother's alive, as well as your husband. So that's kind of, I feel like there is still a second person behind this who is trying to keep this world going, whether it's Pietro, whether it's Ralph, who we haven't seen, whether it's Agnes. Pietro could be Ralph, because we literally haven't seen him and Agnes in a scene together yet. It's up there. All we know now is, what's the character? Kat Dennings' character. Darcy is inside the hex, and we don't see what she transformed into. We see everything else basically become like a circus, which I guess is just to explain the tents that have been put up all over the place. It's creepy as hell though, because clowns, no one likes clowns. And then I do feel like what's going to happen in the end is, and I think this will ultimately lead into mutants and activation of X genes, is if there was some level of an X gene inside Monica when she was sent in and kicked out, it activated it. And I think Kat Dennings' character, Darcy, she won't have the X gene. So this is how they'll show the comparison, is that she will be in, and then when she gets out, her body won't activate any X genes, or she won't get any mutant powers because she's not a mutant. But I feel like the X will get destroyed by Wanda from inside, and sort of the energy will just disperse and just shoot outwards, right? So it's not noticed, like the people on Earth don't see it, but it just sort of goes through them. Similar to how you can't really see like light radiation, really. So it would just go out, like, see sort of like a light or something maybe, and then all the people with X genes, maybe like 2% of the world, they get activated. Kat Dennings would be an example of someone who was affected by it who doesn't have the X gene, and Monica Rambeau would be the example of someone who does have the X gene and was activated by coming into contact with the Hex. And it would also still be an inverse of the No More Mutants thing. Then I think Wanda's going to disappear, maybe break the multiverse open. I'm not 100%. I think if the multiverse does break open, it has to be because of something with Quicksilver. I feel like if the multiverse breaks open, it'll either be because Vision dies again and she goes to look for an alternate reality version of Vision, or Pietro leaves back to his original multiverse, his original universe, if he is indeed from another universe, and she goes to look for him. Then the multiverse breaks open, Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness, it's a big thing. Then, we get, Spider-Man 3 is the Spider-Verse, to some extent. We know that Tobey Maguire's in it, we know that Andrew Garfield's in it, we know Alfred Molina's in it, we know that Jamie Foxx is in it, and rumours of Willem Dafoe, people like that. It's gonna break open. It's the multiverse saga at this point. So yeah, I believe that there is still another person behind it, even though I don't think it's Agnes anymore. I really don't. I think whether it's her husband Ralph or whoever Pietro is. However, he does have super speed, and he has super speed, and he's not under Wanda's control, because he's clearly aware that she's controlling the world, that Vision knows she's controlling the world, and that Vision is dead on the outside. So even if he is a recasted version of Aaron Taylor Johnson's Pietro, so he's the same character but with a different look, he would be dead for the entire time Vision was... when Vision died. He died in Age of Ultron, then Vision died in Infinity War, and he doesn't come back until a couple weeks after Endgame. It's just this show is... It's actually one of the best things Marvel's ever done, let's be real. But I don't know what there is anymore. I think we got 3 episodes left. If we don't start to see who the supposed controller is in the next 2 episodes, then I think it's just Wanda. But they are acting like Pietro's an extended cameo, despite him being a major player in this whole episode. So I don't know what to think about that. All I know is I'm very excited to see what's next. I really wanted more Quicksilver, whether it be X-Men's or the MCU's version, just because, it feels weird not having a speedster in a superhero team. I'm just so used to the Flash being around, and with the Justice League, it's weird not having someone with super speed. They tried to give that to Vision, it just felt weird. But yeah, it's just quick, no script, out of my fucking head, just words that I'm just shitting out right now. Thank you for watching. I will definitely come back with a video next week after episode 7 drops. Peace.